not give up on your legal status. Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. What's happening? How are y'all doing? All right, today we're going to talk about the green card backlog, okay? We're going to talk about share information to help you understand the reasons for the delays and the possible solutions for you. And this is especially important even if you have not filed your case yet. All right, folks? It's very important for you to know this. Because, let's say you get married to someone, you're like, oh, easy peasy, piece of cake. I've heard about the good things, I've heard that some people got a green card fast, 3 to 5 months, but everyone's situation is different, folks. So when I say green card, it's not even green anymore. It's bluish, I think. Pretty sure it's not green. That's the old school, but everyone knows it's called a green card. For resident status here in America. And that is the ultimate status, okay? Other than becoming a citizen, of course. Then, which I highly recommend, all right? If you want to get full protection, as much protection of the law in the United States, become a U.S. citizen when you can. So, folks, if you're new to the channel, welcome to Green Card Guys TV. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in all 50 states of America. Our physical office is in Houston, Texas. And we go live pretty much every day, Monday through Friday. You're welcome to drop a question down below in the comment section, okay? Whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. I keep forgetting to get on Instagram, so sorry for those folks. But anyways, if you're on TikTok, please tap the screen whenever you feel like you get value from the show. We usually go about 20, 30 minutes. For a couple weeks, I was going for an hour, and I just got a little bit too excited and sharing information. That's how I am, like to share more tips and tricks in that sense. So anyways, if for some reason I'm not able to answer your question as in-depth as you would prefer, which understandable, there's a live show is quick nature, or if I don't answer your question at all, just because we get a lot of inquiries, thank you for your trust. Please send us a DM and with a secret code, okay, folks, because I want to give you all priority so that we respond to you in a more timely manner as possible. So the secret code is summer, okay? I say summer because we all kind of miss it, or maybe you're happy that summer's over, so your kids are in school. So, but yeah, use the code summer, and then you'll be prioritized to get a response, okay? So, by the way, best thing to do if you're on, if you have time to make a call, it's our number right up here, all right? If you're on TikTok, I'm not able to share those kind of details. So send us, if you want information for those folks on TikTok, send us a DM with the code summer, and we'll share our website and things like that. Okay. All right. Let's answer, before I answer questions, let's get to, okay, share the backlog. All right. So I wanted to share what I pulled up. There's a video I was about to post. So for those on TikTok, I'm going to share my screen, but you won't be able to see that on TikTok. But if you want to see it, I'm sharing cardguys.com. I'm about to share it. So we're going to talk about the visa bulletin. All right. No one likes this topic because it's annoying, but everyone needs to know about it. If you have a family member, beneficiary abroad, okay, outside the United States. So you'll see here that, or if you're in the U.S. but you have a family preference category, same thing. You need to know this. Okay, so they have an upcoming visa bulletin. It's September 2023, which is in 2 days from now. I believe it's 2 days. So if you scroll down here, all right, the issue right now, folks, is retrogression. Okay, retrogression is annoying. No one likes it, but typically it happens. So let's say your prior date is, let's make it up, March 2020. But at the time you had the interview, it was current, your prior date was current, or there was a date after March 2020, but because due to visa limitations, there's a maximum number of visas allowed per year based on family preference or employment-based preference. That's why you hear a lot about like the term. You may have, if you're familiar with immigration, you follow it. You may have heard the term retrogression. So it's super frustrating. So if you're abroad and you got the interview, you already completed it, and you're like thinking, yeah, everything was good. It was like a 5-minute interview. It's all gravy. When am I get the visa? And then tick tock, 6 months later, 1 year later, like, what is going on? Well, they're not going to update you to tell you, oh, I'm sorry, your prior date, the prior date in general retrogress for your category. They're not going to give you that kind of detail, unfortunately. That's not for everyone, but it's currently in this situation for, the past couple months because we're near the end of the fiscal year. So they have a visa limitation every fiscal year, which ends in October. The end of October is the end of the fiscal year. So for most people, we rely on the January 1st to December 31st annual calendar. But for the government, U.S. government, they rely on the fiscal year, which is, it starts October 1st until the end of September for the following year, calendar year. Okay, so hopefully that was not confusing. But you can see here that, let me see if I can enlarge this on the YouTube and Facebook. So the most, there's I won't say common, there's people that apply for so many different types of, depending on family relationship. I guess one of the most common that's backlog is a U.S. citizen sponsored their sibling. So the F4 category. So you can see here that they're working on cases with a prior date, or at least they can't issue a visa for those that have a prior date after April 2007. For most countries, for Mexico, is for people, they can't help people after have prior date after August 2000. So it's a super ridiculous long time. And so, for example, we had a client that we helped with a mandamus lawsuit. At the time that we filed the mandamus lawsuit, it was current. Okay, so just make you up a date here. But right now for F2A, this is a resident spouse who sponsored their spouse. So they had to make a difficult decision, right? So let me share some details. So at the time of his interview, which was, I think, 2020, they filed on their own, everything like that. But at that time, they, everyone, they all thought that, oh, I'm going to get the visa like next week or something. Well, lo and behold, 2 years later, or the prior date was 2020, but yeah, 2 years later after the interview, still no visa. So they finally, they learned about mandamus and signed up, and we sued them and finally got, after about 2 months on average, the U.S. attorney got back to us and said, look, we're ready to issue it, the visa. No, there's no issues here, no problems. But no problem with the case file, but the problem with the visa allocation is that, as you can see here, this is the upcoming September bulletin, even August 2023 visa bulletin, it's retrogressed. Okay. So usually around this time of the year, you hear about that term retrogressed very often. So hopefully by October 1st or the October bulletin, it will go back to a quote unquote normal date. So it's a bit complicated subject, but just want to share that anyway, to share knowledge. Okay. Because around this time of year, you might be frustrated, but I'm not trying to say by October is going to be super amazing for you in terms of waiting for interview, less wait time for the visa itself. But it does, what do you call it? It's like filling up gas, I guess you can say. They're filling up the gas in October. So right now they're pretty low in the tank in terms of visas. Okay, if there's any way I could explain it like a day-to-day type of situation. All right, so that's basically it in terms of the explaining the visa backlog. And that's even, so I talked about someone who's abroad, but that can be someone who's in the United States on a family preference. All right, so if some people say, well, marriage cases, or my friend got approved like in 5 months. Well, when was it approved? Was it in April 2023, for example? So it just depends. Sometimes it depends on also field office. It's annoying. But if you apply for adjustment of status in the United States, or you're thinking about it, because I know no one wants to leave the United States, when you're already here, you need to see if you are eligible for a waiver. Okay, so because, well, let me give some different information here. Is that if you enter with a visa, let's say a student visa, and but your spouse that sponsored you as a resident, and some reason your F1 status got terminated, you were not able to change status. Look, that's a problem. All right, especially if your spouse doesn't want to become a citizen or just not eligible. Maybe he or she is like 2 or 3 years out from eligibility. It's a problem because if you filed a 485, you have to show proof that you maintain status. They may not give you the courtesy to send you an RFE. Typically they do, but you might just, I mean, I would say 99% of the time they're going to send an RFE. So if you just filed it, don't expect to not get an RFE if you're in this situation. All right. So so just think about that, because paying the USCIS fee, $1,225. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hefty, especially if you're filing your own and you didn't have the money to pay for a lawyer, or maybe you just didn't want to. I get it. But yeah, make sure you're eligible. I think that's very important, right? And the government's not going to tell you that. All right. There's no screening tool. The government doesn't tell you doesn't explain the law to people. And that's why we're on a live show. Okay. Helping you solve helping to solve your immigration problems, or prevent it from happening in the first place. Let's see here. Let's see. I was going to, but yeah, drop some questions in the comment section and I will get to it soon. Anu, Anu on YouTube asked about EB1 retrogress by, I didn't do like a side-by-side comparison. I don't know how people have time for that, to be honest, but I'm impressed. But let me see real quick how much it retrogressed for EB. Let's see here. Yeah, for example, you asked about EB1. I think you're from India. So let me just go back. Should I share my screen again? Let's go back fiscal year 2023. Let's just go to June. Right, so June, for example, if you're on YouTube, you can see this. Even back then it was, so that's why it can get a little confusing. Chart B shows current, but that's just to get started so that you can provide financial documents. But for chart A, it doesn't show, it only shows like September 2020. So there's a huge delay there. And then for employment based, retro, yeah, February 22. Yeah, it makes me sick. Okay, yeah, June 2023 visa bulletin. Anu, thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, even June bulletin they were working on getting visas issued for those resident status, basically February 2022. And this September visa bulletin right now shows retrogress 10 years. Whew, man, that is nuts. Yep. That is nuts. Okay, that's ridiculous. But yeah, this should be only, hopefully, but still, just it should only be for the next couple of months. October 1st, October bulletin should be okay or better in that sense. But yeah, it's just frustrating to see, because essentially what they try to do is they try to make estimates. So it's not an exact science. They're not geniuses in that sense. There's no like special mathematical formula, I guess, that can promise that they can issue a visa in that time frame. But yeah, because I see retrogress 10 years. So that's pretty alarming to see that, because why retrogress 10 years? Like, so in the last 8 years, it's just kind of strange why they would go that far back. Maybe it's a glitch. I don't know. It's a little strange, but I'll talk to my colleagues about that, see what they think. All right. All right. Now to get some questions. Again, I'll be on for another 15 minutes or so. So if I don't answer your question, please drop it in the comment section or schedule as that's what I should have said. If you're new to the channel, you have an opportunity to unlock free 15 minutes, no cost to you, strategy session. All right. But of course, if you want more time, it's understandable. But usually we can streamline it through in 15 minutes or so. Okay. So make sure you're eligible or not, point you in the right direction. And of course, it's always our pleasure to assist you to actually represent you if you need that service. All right, so everything blended. I-130 filed for your husband who is in the U.S. It's been 16 months and no answer. Should you be worried? Um, Everything blended. Are you a U.S. citizen or resident? If you're willing to share, because that will make a huge difference. As I was sharing there. Okay. Citizen. Okay, so um, but you said you filed that's great. Okay, you filed a petition. Did you file the 485? Because I think your other comment saying your spouse is in the U.S. Um, and of course to make sure your spouse did enter with a visa. If your spouse entered with a visa, everything blended, then you should also file the 485. You don't have to wait until the petition's approved to file that. There's other forms, of course. Send us a DM forms and with the code forms, and we can tell you which forms you should likely file. But the best thing to do is ask for a strategy session so we can verify your situation for your spouse. All right, Oscar, can you do an Advanced Pro under DACA? You also have C14 for U visa and indeed an appointment. You need you indeed. You need an appointment with us. Yeah, we're happy. Yeah, just contact us. Okay, secret code by the way, if you missed it earlier, is what did I say? Summer. The secret code is summer. Yeah, you can do advanced parole under DACA, but it's very restrictive. If it was C9 for adjustment status, we basically just put visit family and tourism. Just keep it simple. But for DACA and asylees, it's very restrictive. You have to have, I think, like basically anything related to. Oh, shoot. Anything related to the like a job conference. Sorry, I had to send a message to the team. And let's see here. Yeah, so they need proof of that. Okay, when you apply. Sorry, I just follow up a message with the team. Let's see. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Please know that I answer questions pretty quickly, so there's always more information I could probably share, of course, but I just share it to the extent to just kind of get you going. What does USCIS mean? It's taking longer for I-130 to process. You're a citizen. So yeah, if it's a standalone petition, I-130 in general, it just takes longer. But if your spouse, who's let's say foreign national, the immigrant, is here, enter with a visa, then and even if overstayed, you also file the 485 application. The 485 application is signed by your foreign national beneficiary, where the U.S. citizen is the one or the resident is the one who signs the petition I-130. But if it's also a marriage case, there's also another form I-130A, the letter A for amazing. The foreign national beneficiary has to sign that as well. Stephanie, we are in the primary office is in Houston, Texas. We have satellite offices across the country, but it's typically for like court cases when we need to meet people in person for that. But you're always welcome to hang out in Houston if you're visiting in the area. A lot of great food here. Jenny, why do they keep transferring your case to different offices? Um, you got another transfer notice? Okay, that's pretty crazy. I mean, annoying also, frustrating. Um, yeah, I mean, the intent for your case to be transferred to another office in general. Jenny, I think yours is a waiver case, if I remember, a waiver application 601A. Yeah, they're trying. I mean, they claim to be trying to, have people work on it, but again, keep in mind that USCIS has not enough personnel to work on people's cases, and I don't know the exact number right now. I need to look it up in the annual report, but that's probably high in the thousands of applicants still pending for your same application, unfortunately, 601A. So, and I know when they transferred it to Potomac Service Center in May, and are continually transferring it to Potomac, people weren't receiving any decisions still, and it's now almost September. I-140 was approved December 2022. When will your 485 be approved? Going 9 months now. I don't know, sir. I don't know. You got to check the processing times. I don't know anything else than that. Folks, I appreciate y'all asking when you'll be approved, but I have no idea. That's $1 million question. And but the best thing to do is check the processing times online. I have a video about that, at least on TikTok. I need to update that on YouTube, but check that out, and you can see. But congrats on your Alma 40. But again, Leon, what's your prior date, Leon? And what category? I need all this information. So, folks, if you're wondering about your own process, I need to know about the category. I need to know what country of nationality. I need to know your prior date. It's a lot of information. So the best thing to do, folks, you're welcome to comment in any video, okay, the uploaded video, and I'll respond. Myself or one of my team members will respond showing our screen of how to check, or for your case specifically. All right, so hopefully that will help. But yeah, I need more than just the I-140 or 485. I need to know the status, things like that. Let's see. Okay, Celeste, U.S. citizen, filed. Your husband's 485 been pending for more than 2 years. Oh shoot, that's a long time. Celeste? Did your husband have the interview? That's crazy. And this is post-pandemic. What the hell's going on? Okay. And also, which part of the country? What's your field office? Do you know? Yeah, Emily, appreciate it. It's just annoying. Still annoying. People need to know. Appreciate it. And government doesn't explain it that well. Okay. How long is process right now for parole in place? Unfortunately, so parole in place is sent to the local field office where you live. So it's not in the processing timetable. Okay. It's not in the processing timetable, so I can't say, but hopefully less than a year. And the thing is, because field office, I don't believe have a proper workflow to process those kind of applications, even though they're the ones designated to do that. Let's see here. Okay, Evelyn, you have DACA. Your brother was born in the U.S. Should file for you or wait for your 14-year-old? What country are you national of? You estimated 7 years. I mean, yeah, from Mexico, I mean, I don't want to assume you're from Mexico, of course, but I'll just give an example. I think from Mexico, I was saying it was like 23 years. So of course your son will be a citizen. I mean, I'm sorry, he's already a citizen, but will be eligible to file for you in 7 years. So that's going to be a shorter time. But if you are from a different country other than Mexico, for sure, then it's always just good to file the petition now through your brother, because the thing is, folks, you just never know what could happen. You never know when one option is better than another. What is better now might not be the best option like 7 years from now for whatever reason. You just never know. So if an option exists to just file a petition, I highly recommend it. And so, like, for if anyone of y'all are citizens, for example, you have a sibling who's a who needs status, whether that person's in the U.S. or not, just file the petition. Okay, the petition is signed by the sponsor, the U.S. citizen. Does not require a signature from the foreign national beneficiary, and it's really to put your name. It's like putting your name down, getting a support ticket, getting a ticket in line. All right, because you need that priority date. All right, Cynthia, how long is the wait for a green card replacement? Oh yeah, I hear that a lot. The I-90 form, it should be one of those, just this rubber stamped. So you might need to schedule an appointment for what we call like info pass, and they can put a stamp in his passport. But in general, I mean, that was like the temporary solution. But aside from whatever it says on processing time, I know people have been saying they're literally been waiting like 2 years. Let's see. I don't know why. I mean, so hopefully your spouse is what I call eligible to become a citizen by now. But I know ultimately people just need to travel. So that's why you're asking. That's why most people ask about the actual when they should expect to get that approved. I'm just trying to look it up online for you right now. All right, so I'm here on the visa. Let me share my screen. So I know the person that asked me is on TikTok, but I'm sharing my screen on YouTube and Facebook. All right, I clicked on I-90 for replacement or initial issuance. Those cases are at Potomac Service Center, and they're taking, here it shows 80% of those cases taking 20 months. Why does a green card that needs to be replaced take 20 months? Think about that. Think about that. And the Potomac Service Center is the same service center that's handling waiver 601A cases. So if anyone knows about Potomac Service Center, they're freaking slow, okay? They're really slow. So is the Vermont Service Center that usually handles VAWA, but those are also getting distributed to another service center, I believe. Stephanie, 625, how to schedule a meeting with us. The best thing to do, thank you so much for asking, is if you're on TikTok, send us a DM or a message using secret code summer, and we'll send you the link. Okay, how to schedule schedule a meeting. All right, or the other way is give us a call, and we'll send you our phone number. All right. I'm trying to figure it out on TikTok how to share our information where we don't get banned for 5 minutes or more. So let's see, Katie Lavish, and I'll switch over to YouTube for a question. What happens if your marriage based 485 prior date passed and no response? Katie, is your spouse a resident or a citizen? Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to go over to okay, Golden Lady, I see you wrote Summer here. Send us a DM after the live show. So after the live show, folks, send us a DM, Summer, if you want to schedule an appointment, or or even if you just have a question. Okay. Let's see here. Katie, I'm waiting for you to tell us if you're a citizen or not, and then we'll get back to your question. Okay. In the meantime, Aliov, your husband got I-130 approved. He has DACA. What is next? He came here at 2 without papers from Mexico. Okay, so it's a strategy call in this situation where there's many people who have DACA right now, and it's been approved for many years before the whole thing got semi-shut down for new applicants. You want the default is there. Yeah, they are saying before next step he needs to leave Mexico for advanced pro to come in legally. So that's an option. Okay, there's two main options there. The default really is without that. If someone didn't have DACA, is to apply for a waiver 601A. And folks, by the way, I get it if like you're not able to hire a lawyer because limited funds and whatnot, but please do yourself a favor. The waiver application is pretty expensive. I think it's $715 or $9 something. It's pretty expensive. Okay, so please don't write a hardship letter that's only one paragraph. Okay, knock on wood, we've only had one case denied in terms of waiver, and that was because the spouse was in jail. Okay, I'm not going to say more than that. Of course, I'm not going to break attorney-client confidentiality, but I can tell you there's people that call us and say, "Oh, I applied, I got a denial letter. What happened?" And even without going into detail, they just wrote like one paragraph, and only one person wrote a letter. So even though the hardship is supposed to be to the sponsor, or what is the hardship? I mean, I'll do a video about this later, but essentially, okay, Katie, I see you said citizen, but so the option number one, so I go into tangents. I think I like to share information. Option number one is applying for a waiver. This is to the issue here overall is the unlawful presence or over in your husband's situation, entry without inspection, without a visa, without border crossing card. Okay, so that's a default. However, if you want the because he already has DACA, you have to apply for advanced parole. And this is applying for the 131 is before leaving for Mexico. Okay. You own, and even though 601A application, you don't leave until the interview is even until the waiver is approved and the interview is scheduled after they know that the interview, the 601A is approved. So that's why someone like who joined our show several times. Thank you, Jenny. But she has a 601A application, been going on, I think, for a couple of years at least, maybe 2020 for her. It's been before the pandemic, it was average 8 months was our case experience processing time for 601A. But now it says, now they claim 44 months according to processing time. But that does not mean that you have to wait until after 44 months to sue USCIS. That is not the case. If it's at least 12 months for us, we still sue USCIS based on unreasonable delay. Okay, Cecil, good day. You're interested in knowing if there's a specific time of the month for notification of the immigration visa be sent out. I don't think you're talking about the bulletin, or maybe you're talking about the actual visa. They don't necessarily have a time of month. They're just kind of random, as far as I know. Okay, sorry, Cecil. I've never worked for the government, so I'm not sure about that part. Let's see. Okay, do we do viable cases? Yes, Sarah, we do. Happy to help with. I'm trying to find Katie. Katie, you said a citizen, but what was the original question? Goodness, got like 5 questions in my mind. Let me see. But yeah, we're happy to help with the viable cases. Okay, I found it. Katie, you're saying, and I'll go back to Sarah after that. Katie, you're saying what happens if your marriage case prior date passed? So prior date doesn't matter to you for your case because either you or your spouse is a U.S. citizen. Okay, so it doesn't matter about prior date. It's immediate. The visa, the resident status is immediately available. So there is no wait time. There's only wait time in terms of processing time. Okay, but there's no. You don't need to wait for others. Oh, your spouse is a citizen. You filed docs in 2021. Okay, Katie, you need to contact us. Send us a code. DM us. Secret code is summer. Okay, we need to talk. All right, don't wait any longer. Do not wait any longer. A lot of y'all been waiting a long time, and a lot of y'all don't know about this option. So now to the solution for delayed cases. A lot of y'all don't know about the option of suing the government. You know, not many people in general have hired a lawyer before. That's one of the other reasons I like to share information on a live show so that you understand how we do things. You know, I don't always dress like a lawyer. I have no need to wear dress clothes. Just wear a polo. That's my gig. That's how I do things. But my point is, you know, we want to share information. Don't delay to take the next step. Okay. Do not rely on the US government. If whether you took COVID vaccine or not, do not rely on the US government to tell you what to do. Okay. And so, similar to immigration, they might not tell you when the next step is. You have to research that. Of course, we're happy. Ting Law Group is happy to shortcut that research and share with you so you don't have to do as much research. Okay. So Katie, you might have to. Hopefully, Katie, you already filed the 45 in general, but if you haven't, you can file it now. There's no like restriction because your sponsor is a U.S. citizen. All right, Zuri, your I-130 is approved. Petitioner passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences. There is a form called I-360 for widower or widow application, but that needs to be done. There's a deadline for that. That's sad to hear, but there is a deadline for that as well, within 2 years of the date of death. Okay, so get that going as soon as possible to preserve your petition. Let's see here. Chef, in the past, you got 201s approved. Can you petition yourself for green card? Possible. Let's talk about that, okay? DM us, secret code summer. But unfortunately, as you probably know, just being approved of an application before, that doesn't necessarily mean someone could qualify. I mean, it certainly could help since you already have some information that we could use. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a smooth process automatically for someone who's wanting to get a green card, especially by yourself, because you need to qualify for national interest waiver, is what we call it, NIW. All right, let's see here. Cecil says, you're welcome. Okay, thank you. Documented qualified since June 6th in Jamaica. Yet to get a date for interview. I mean, from the comments we get from Jamaica, Kingston, Lagos, Nairobi, across Manila, across the world, unfortunately. I mean, expect the interview after being documented qualified. Expect the interview to take at least 6 months to be scheduled. And the super frustrating thing is that even when you do scheduled and you do get the interview and it's only a whole 5 minutes, and you're like, oh, that was great, right? Like, that's it. That's all you want. Like, and then you get an email saying, fill out this form, DS5535. You send them an email, and then another 6 months pass. You're like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, it's very, very frustrating. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, let's see here. Oh, sorry, I just missed one. Maria, can you pin that comment again? Oh, there it is. Once upon a time. Once upon a time, USCIS was faster. I recently just got married, but my husband moved out from our home. Can I go ahead with the paperwork? Congratulations on the marriage. Moved out from. Oh, what? Wait, what is it? You guys are separated? Is that what you mean? You got married, but you're separated. Can you go ahead with paperwork? No, I mean, what is that? You should DM us, okay? Because I don't know if you want to air out more information, personal information on here, but I want to make sure because the paperwork has to be signed, and ultimately your spouse has to show up to the interview. And unfortunately, even though 2023 trend is for the interviews to be waived, you don't want to assume that will happen to your case. Okay, it'd be great, but that would be a bad assumption. All right, so even if your sponsor spouse signed the forms, that doesn't mean it's a good idea to still file it. All right, so thank you for asking that question, because you got to know the end, what the end looks like. So if there's no intent for your spouse to come back, then well, are you the citizen? Can I file abandonment? So I actually did. If you're the citizen, I did a video. I recorded a video about this topic. Someone else asked me. It sounds very similar. So send us a DM and share the word separated. Now, then we'll remember to send you that video. I'm assuming, but the way you say this, it sounds like you're the U.S. citizen or sponsor. But if you're asking about divorces, we handle very limited divorces, and we can refer 3 times, Jenny. 3 times your case has been transferred? That's crazy. Where is that at now? All right, folks. I went past my time. I don't think I'll be on tomorrow. So I'm going to be out of the office for about a week and a half. So randomly, it won't be scheduled, but I'll be going live on TikTok just randomly, because I don't know when I'll be available to go live again in terms of the time of day. So LF, American citizen. So stay tuned. American citizen husband petitioned you in 2017. Was interviewed in 2018. Never heard back since. Okay. All right, LF. The best option right now is to sue USCIS. It sounds like you're in America, living here. So I would file the lawsuit. Okay, mandamus lawsuit. But okay, keep in mind that just in case USCIS sends a request for evidence because of the lawsuit, that's possible. They can either send a decision or request for evidence just because it's been so long. Even if you think you provided them everything that you could have provided them, right? So generally, they really shouldn't be asking for more evidence because really you have to show proof of bona fide marriage at the time of marriage. But of course, they still want more updated information, if anything, to make sure you're still married, right? So hopefully that helps. Oh, this is amazing. I see y'all have a lot of questions. Thank you so much for your trust. By the way, this time, good reminder, if you're just now joining the show, welcome. We offer a strategy session for 15 minutes, no cost to you. Just give us a call or go to our website, greencardguys.com, answer a couple questions, and you can get an email actually. Oh, okay. I'm almost done. Yeah. Okay. And then schedule time. You're going to get an email and you'll get a link to schedule an appointment. Okay. So check that out. All right, folks. I gotta go. Okay, folks. Thank you so much. I'm a little overtime and I gotta get to my appointment. All right. Y'all have a wonderful day. Remember, secret code from today is summer. All right. You all have a good day. Take care now. Bye-bye.